Want to welcome you live to Billy Harrison Fieldhouse here on the campus of Gulf Coast State College. The final game of the second day for the battle at the beach. Jeremy Smith alongside David Turner bringing you the action in this one. The LSU-Shreveport Pilots and the Bearcats of Rust College. The starting lineups first for Rust, David Turner.
Starting for Rust will be number 3, Keyshawn Tabb, number 10, Wesley Anderson, number 24, Ronald Struthers, number 25, Devontae Lanier, and finally number 32, Christopher Agbo.
And for the Pilots of LSU Shreveport.
For the Pilots, we got number 0, that's Kevin Norman, the 6'4 senior from Alexandria, Louisiana. Number 1, Lonnie Francis, the 6'7 junior from Columbus, Ohio. Number 3, Leandre Washington, the senior guard from Englewood, New Jersey. Number 4, Royce Hunter, the 6'3 guard from Houston, Texas. And finally, number 15, Jeff Boyd, the 6'6 senior from Chicago, Illinois.
Rust in the black uniforms with the blue numbers. The Pilots of LSU in the white jerseys tonight. Going to get a travel off the bat here as Rust won the tip but turns the ball over 17 seconds into the contest. Ball inbounded to Leandre Washington. This is a very good LSU Shreveport ball club, ranked number 22 in the country. They ran into a tough one last night. That one's kicked out, now over. Jumper up and good. Ran into a tough one last night against Science and Arts, lost 92-78. They lead 3-0 here early. They enter this game 3-3 overall. Ball sent out, right wing. The attack from the corner, now back up. Brings it around, up. Shot left wing, no good. And a shot clock violation as it never drew the rim. Listen, Rust, the longest rested team in this tournament. They played in the first game and now the 8th game. Whereas LSU Shreveport played last night in the final game, and they'll play again tonight here in the final game. So the rest of Rust will be an interesting observation in this one.
Agbo unable to corral the pass, at least tips it out where his player can get it. Tough shot up inside. It's number 25, Devontae Lanier.
5-2 LSU S leads. That shot misses. Going the other way with the basketball. The drive up right hand and good by Agbo. Working down on the elbow as Francis. Nice turnaround look for him, gets it to go. Ball into the hand of Tabb. Tabb was a big part of what they managed to do last night offensively. Working off into the hand of Agbo. Agbo back up. Now the attack from the right. Sort of flings the ball at the rim. It won't go. Agbo's shot won't go. We'll go the other way. LSU with the basketball. That jumper won't go. Rebound taken down by Malik Anderson. Tabb will run the offense. Kicks it out. That one won't drop. Tipped alive. And he steps out of bounds as he grabs the rebound. Does Royce Hunter. Ball will be thrown in by Anderson in front of the LSUS bench. Tab put on quite the show yesterday in a losing effort for the Bearcats.
And a 5-second call up top for Tab. You don't see those very often at all.
No, not at all. He just kind of cradled the basketball. I don't think he realized how closely guarded that the ref considered him to be.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing Rust is going to try to do, to use the clock there on the offensive end of the floor.
7-4 is the score. Tab into the front court, all the way to the rack.
And, of course,
got it to go, and how did he not get the call there?
Of course, I say that, and they go right in for a layup quick.
Yeah, Tab was looking at the referee like, hey, there were 2 fouls. You didn't see either one of them? That jumper won't go. Racing ahead. Spins into the lane, and that one waved off. Going to get a foul there.
Fouls on Norman of the Pilots, number 0.
Tab and Washington, both incredibly quick point guards. This could be a fun matchup to watch over the course of this game. You've already seen some of Tab's capability. Washington, really talented at getting, or really adept at getting to the free throw line yesterday. Last night, yesterday. It's all running together.
It was all the same day. I mean,
it was all in the PM. Into the corner. Back up. Tab. Over to Anderson for 3. Back iron, no good. Too strong. Going to get a foul on the floor now.
I think it's going to be on Struthers.
Yep, Struthers called for that one. Into the front court. There's the handoff. Back out. Thrown down to the corner. Washington up. There was a contest, but a foul on somebody. Looks like they're going to. Yep, Malik Anderson. Again, that's the angle you and I are at. We can tell that it's a single-digit number. We just can't tell if anything between 1 and 5. We can't tell the difference. Free throw up and good. I told you Washington is adept at getting to the stripe.
It's Akeem White checking in for the Pilots, and Elijah Johnson, number 31, is checked in for the Bearcats.
Winner of this game will play Faulkner in the final game tomorrow. Loser of this game will play the game that tips right about noon against Baptist Bible. Struthers makes that one. 9-8 lead for LSUS with the ball. Layup off glass won't go. Tip back won't go. And another whistle. Way too many of those this early. We were running, believe it or not, an hour plus early in this tournament, but we finished too early. None of the teams were here, so we had to sit and wait for the regularly scheduled tip time. Now the officials are blowing the whistle. No, I told you the thing about, don't say the thing about finishing early. You just never know in these events. The math was in your favor.
It was.
But the odds were not.
No. Never are.
Never are. Rebound taken out by Devontae Lanier. Lanier works to his right. Back left. Bounce pass through. Oh, a lot of contact there, and they'll call the travel. Okay.
Kind of hard to keep your feet planted when you're getting hit up top and, whatever.
Yeah, I guess the officials assumed it was all ball, but
technically there was a travel.
So 10-8 is your score. Ball thrown in. There's Royce Hunter. Down the floor, back up. Hunter again into the corner. Backs it out. Jeff Boyd with it to the rack and gets it to go. No, that was actually Kevin Norman. I think number 0 that scored it, was it not? They announced Akeem White overhead, but it was Kevin Norman. Back out. Tab pulls it, won't go. Rebound pulled down, put back good.
Official stats do say Akeem White, so.
Okay, Akeem White it is.
We'll go that route.
Carter Moles is rarely wrong. Washington in the front court. That one no good. Rebound taken down. Coming the other way. Tab ahead. There's Malik Anderson for 3. Back iron, no good. 13:25 and counting here in the opening half as Washington brings the ball across the timeline. He'll take it. And a whistle on the floor. Tab picks up the foul. Inbound will come off the hand of, looks like now newly checked into the game, number 12, Kelvin Henry Jr. Racing into the front court. Sends it over. And he'll step on the line as he catches the ball. A turnover. Plenty of those early on. Too many for Russ. That's their 4th. So the Bearcats going to have to settle down here. Down just 2 points despite 4 turnovers. Ball will be thrown in to Henry.
Terrell Jennings in for the Bearcats.
Tab knocks it free. Henry recovers. Sends it to the left. There's a 3. Good. Off the hand of number 15, Jeff Boyd. He's got 6 on a pair of shots from deep. 15-10 is your score. Into the corner for 3. Good from Christopher Owens.
Nice kick out there on the pass from, I believe that was Tab making his way in. No, it wasn't Tab. Yeah, it was Tab.
There's a handoff. Looking for help. Gets it over. Down to the baseline. Rattles off. Same team, and they knock it out of bounds on the rebound effort. .12:08 remaining in the opening half. Ball thrown into the corner. There's another look, won't drop. Rebound taken down, coming the other way. Works it ahead. Now back, over to the left. Sends it up top. Jordan Watkins had it momentarily. That is number 22, Terrell Jennings. Ball stolen. Out of there with it. Leaves it. Back over. Boyd on the drive. Works it down low. Turnaround right hand good for Akeem White. And there's a timeout. Should be the under 12 media. They're saying 32nd for Rust. Teams are taking their seat. We'll take the break. Faulkner Sports Network. 17-13 is your score here. Working around to the left, back out. Attacking right side, back up top, wide open look, won't drop. Rebound taken down by Quentin Jones. Jones on the attack, won't go. Jones, a native of Columbus, Ohio. There's a foul called on Trey Johnson, number 13. Now they're going to call the media timeout. We'll take it with them. Faulkner Sports Network. (17-13) your score, 10:48 to play in the opening half. Inbound will be triggered by Christopher Owens. Working with it now is Wesley Anderson. Owens shoots it, no good. Rust will clear the board. Will stop and punt, good off the hand of Wesley Anderson. 2-point ball game. Thrown ahead. Kelvin Henry. Back out. Sent left wing. Long pass off the hands of the big man White.
Tough pass. Even with the lane and everything, you've got to throw that pass perfect to even have a chance to get it in, and that one just a little too long.
Trey Johnson provides the defense on Wesley Anderson here. Ball sent over, now down to the block. Good move. Gets the shot up. It won't drop. Good thought. Really hard to put the right touch on that ball. You get kind of that power dribble and the big move to your right toward the baseline, and you don't have a lot of time to find the goal.
Yeah, you've almost got to know where it is before you take the shot, and that's just having awareness, and then sometimes you can get bumped off your spot, and it moves you just enough to cause the miss. As Akeem White pushes the effort on the other end, and he gets the foul, misses that first free throw. The foul was on number 11 of Rust. That is Christopher Owens.
One more coming from White. 2-point game. He'll make it a 3-point game. Ball thrown in now to Wesley Anderson. Anderson across the timeline. Gets it to the left. That jumper, no good. Thrown out. Turn around, right hand, no good for White. White putback won't go. Another rebound for White. Trey Johnson, the three, won't go. Russ finally clears the board. Bounces it ahead. And a turnover. Just not a lot of continuity on the offensive end for Russ. We saw him yesterday, and they really executed what was, I thought, a very good plan for about the first fourth of the ball game.
Right.
And then they sort of broke down into a lot of ISO after that. And that allowed LSU-A to take over that ball game. And I think you're seeing some of that right now. Instead of the spacing and the moving of the basketball like they did to start this tournament, it's just sort of a lot of ISO, and then you look at what's around you and maybe find something or maybe not.
Well, it's ISO, and it's trying to do a little too much. Just like that last possession, trying to get that extra step to the rim when you could have jump stopped an extra, 4 feet out, taking a little mid-range jumper or going off the glass.
We just saw an example of why they put a pad at the top of the scorer's table. Trey Johnson's hip just got saved.
Save the player and the table.
Yeah. Ball thrown in to Wesley Anderson. Gets it over. Now back again, deep three, off target. Trey Johnson, tight ropes. Into the front court now. 3-point lead for the Pilots. Works left, back right. Keem White. Step back. Sends it over. Offensive foul. That one's going to be on number 5, Quentin Jones.
It was a good call. Extended that arm as he was trying to make a little space.
Into the front court is Tab. Struthers. Back over, bounce pass. Turn around, right hand, no good. Jones will clear the board. Again, Russ is getting stops. They're just not able to do anything with it on the offensive end.
Now 7 of 20 from the field as a team, 1 of 7 from 3.
Jones finishes that with the right hand. It's a 5-point lead. Attack to the paint, up, right hand off glass, and a foul.
Jones called for the foul for the Pilots. That's his second here of the half.
Substitutions here. White will check out. Jones will check out. Francis returns, as does Norman. That one's good. 3-point ball game again. Henry with it. To Johnson. Long pass. Now back down from Norman to Henry. Henry to Johnson. Francis with the attack, won't go. There's a foul on the loose ball.
Over the back, I think, on Norman. It is his second foul.
Anderson into the front court. Attacks left. Handoff. Back out. That two no good. Rebound taken down, thrown ahead. Gets it into the corner. Stolen by Tapp. Thrown ahead, Wesley Anderson. He puts it up and lays it in good.
Nice job by Anderson shielding the basketball as he went up.
Thrown ahead. The attack down the baseline. Nice feed back to Francis, and Tabb will get him. Dead on 6 minutes. As to the line goes Francis. They're going to go ahead and call the under 6 media. We'll take it with them. Faulkner Sports Network. Back iron, no good for Francis. One more effort to try to add to this 1 point lead here for Francis. 6 minutes left in the half. And he'll do that. 21-19 is your score. Wesley Anderson across the timeline. Sends it over. Back up. There's a three from Tabb. And Rust is on top, 22-21. Left wing. Back up. Washington grabs it. Feeds Norman. Across and through to Johnson. Back over. Now down to Washington. Washington, 9 to shoot. Toward the baseline, pulls it and drains it. Leandre Washington.
It's just a good job by Washington kind of getting the matchup that he wanted and taking advantage of it as the big man steps out.
Malik Anderson with the finger roll right down the lane. Russ back in the lead as Johnson works with the basketball. There's a handoff. And he gets it off glass and good.
Good quick move baseline for Francis.
Into the corner. Back over now. There's a three. Misses everything, does Struthers. Ball thrown in to Washington. Down in the corner, Norman, long pass, Hunter. Hunter pulls it. Back iron, no good. Taken down. Francis muscles it back up. 27-24 the lead for the Pilots. Wesley Anderson, long three, ill-advised look.
Another one of those quick looks before you really even get into your offense.
Step back, no good. Francis rebound and gets fouled. Francis misses that one.
Foul was on Wesley Anderson.
One more. He makes it. 4-point ball game. Tab into the front court. Works it to the left. Kicks it back out. Now to the right. There's Tab. The attack through and a foul. I got to tell you, with very few exceptions, if Keyshawn Tabb's on the floor and I'm a Rust fan, I think I want him touching the ball every time down the floor.
He seems to be able to make something happen just about every time he has it, for sure.
Yeah, those possessions where you just fire off that quick shot from deep and he never touches the ball, not a great possession. Malik Anderson's the other guy that seems like he can really score just about any time. That one misses.
He does. Both those guys in the backcourt for Rust yesterday had good games.
28-24 is your score. Tab missed the first free throw. He's got 5 points right now. He's the high man for Rust. He'll make that one. 28-25 now. Already 3 assists for Tab as well. There goes Washington. Thrown ahead. Now to Francis. And a foul. If it's on Tab, that's his third.
It is on Tab.
That's big. He is very much the spark plug of that Rust offense. Francis with a free throw. Good. That one's also good. 5-point ball game. 3:03 left in the half. Malik Anderson with it.
You called it on Tab yesterday. 19 points, 7 assists, 6 steals, 6 rebounds for the point guard in that loss to LSUA.
2:52 remaining until halftime. Washington with the ball. A chance right now for LSUS to put some distance between themselves and the Bearcats. They're now up 7. Into the front court. Working with it is Anderson. Now back to Owens. Owens tipped alive. There's a steal. Norman with it. Back over. Hunter. 3. No. Rebound. Chase down. Fought for on the floor. Still alive. Anderson knocks it loose. And they're going to say Rust basketball. Rust basketball. Head coach Kyle Blankenship, pleading his case. Thrown up And there's a foul.
Francis with the push in the back. Second foul on Francis. That's going to be the 8th team foul, I believe.
Elijah Johnson to the line. That one's good. That one's up. Also good. So Elijah Johnson knocks down a pair, cuts it to 5. There's the drive, left hand off glass, good. Quick take there. Good decision making by Francis.
Yeah, good job recognizing nobody was there to stop ball. Just going back to the basket was the defender, so take advantage of it and meet him right there at the rim.
Christopher Huntsman, number 0, newly in the game, and he gets the assist as he feeds Struthers for the 3. That'll cut it to 4. Norman thrown over. There's Washington. Puts it on the deck, through, loses the basketball, and a whistle. They're going to put it on Huntsman. Four-point game as Washington steps to the line. That one's good. One more look from Washington. Make it a 6-point ball game. 90 seconds left in the opening half. Attacking to the left, back up. Anderson back to Owens. Struthers back out, ball fake on the deck for Huntsman. Feeds Struthers, good. He's going to cut it to 3. Russ needs a stop. Working ahead is Boyd into the corner. That one off target. Norman keeps it alive. Boyd working. Nice adjustment there and just pulled it from the elbow. 5-point game again. 40 seconds left.
10 points for Jeff Boyd in the first half.
Thrown ahead. Struthers
Great.
swatted from behind and fouled.
Whistle came in just a little late at the end of that. Norman thought he had one. It's the 3rd foul on Norman already here in the first half. That's something to keep an eye on moving forward.
Yeah, there's some foul trouble. Keyshawn Tabbs got 3 for Rust and now 3 for Norman. You got 2 guys, it looks like, for LSUS who already have 2. So we'll be monitoring that situation. Struthers with the free throw. 38-34. One more coming from Struthers. That's good. He's got 10 here in the first half. About a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock here. Bearcats down 3. Washington back over. Washington, 15 to shoot. Works to the right. Into the corner. Quentin Jones, bounce pass down. Lonnie Francis turn around, left hand good. Shot clock is off. 6 seconds left for Russ, trying to do something. Long pass. How he stayed in bounds, I'll never know. That 3, no. Had a chance, didn't drop. 5-point lead for the Pilots as we go to half. A disjointed at times, but a good half of basketball.
It was solid for the most part, top to bottom. Both teams were competitive. Both teams we saw some good offensive sets and some good defense throughout this half, and I think obviously there's going to be some things that both of these coaching staffs can go in and look at to correct here at halftime. But all in all, I think they're going to be pretty pleased with what they see. Biggest thing, 8 turnovers for Rust, and those are things. Some of those things are happened early in the ball game that they can look to, and they've tried to correct, and that they can continue that process throughout the remainder of this ball game.
Both teams have a mind to shoot it. Neither of them has shot it well from deep. The Pilots 2 of 12. The Bearcats just 4 of 13 from deep. But when they have shot it within the arc, much better. Both teams shooting over 40% from the floor as a whole, despite the bad shooting numbers from three. So they're seeing some success attacking the basket. And that bears out in the points in the paint, 20-14. Pilots leading in that category as well. 5-point advantage. Ronald Struthers, 10 points for the Bearcats. For the Pilots, who are up 40-35 right now, they've gotten 14 from Lonnie Francis, 10 from Jeff Boyd. We're back on the other side here in about 13 minutes, Faulkner Sports Network. 5-point ball game as we start the second half here. LSUS with the lead. Leandre Washington gets the ball over to Hunter and back again. There's Boyd down to Francis. And Francis with the left hand. He's got 16 now. Into the front court. Worked over. That is Wesley Anderson. Out of the corner. Down the lane. Right hand layup good by number 25, Devontae Lanier.
Seas parted for Lanier, and he took full advantage of that one.
5-point ball game again, and this is where we talk about the foul trouble for Keyshawn Tabb. He would be out there right now for Rust, and he's not as Francis puts that one in. 3 fouls for Tabb. Crossing the timeline. Working, losing it. Now Norman comes out of there with it. Thrown ahead, tipped alive. Left hand won't go for Francis. Got his own rebound. Agbo closes out.
Throws it out to Trey Johnson, who is not in the game, but just stood up on the bench and received the pass.
Well, I mean, he was open.
He was open.
He was open, and I think he probably could have made the shot from there. It should be the rule. If you can hit it from on the bench, even if you're not in the game, we should consider it. Back out to the left. Anderson. Over. Bounce pass down. Turns. Hands off. Right hand layup good. Really good action on that. He saw Struthers coming down the lane and just sort of stopped his motion and set him up just fine. There's Washington. Back over. Kicks out. Looking for help. Francis. Good.
Nice. Spin over that right shoulder. Left hand hook off glass. Pretty post move from Francis.
He's got 20 now. Ball back over. Malik Anderson. Thrown down. And blocked.
Boyd with the block on that backside.
Lead is 7. Lead stays 7, but no, the tip in by Norman. The lead is 9. First bucket of the game for Norman. All thrown to Johnson. Johnson on the deck, through, right hand, no good. Rebound takedown, coming the other way. Step back, no good. Rebound taken down now. 9-point deficit. Russ needs to put some things together on the offensive end. Struthers, 12 points. Gets the ball off and back again. Back up top to Johnson. Johnson's 3 goes. He's got 7. That'll cut it to 6. Leandre Washington loses his dribble and then.
Good job by Anderson taking advantage, just sweeping in as Anderson goes crashing through, and he's going to get ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay for Rust.
Yeah, Malik Anderson had a clean lane to the rim till Leandre Washington got his hands in there and picked him. 16:02 left in the ball game, 6-point game. Ball caught up top, now over. Johnson, back out. Wesley Anderson down. Going to work down low, and a jump ball forced. Terrell Jennings got that ball a little too low and invited the help.
Yep, Washington came in and grabbed the ball. Held it long enough to get the jump ball call, so switch that possession arrow.
Jennings on the attack. Up, right hand, in and out. Malik Anderson the rebound. Called for a travel. Six-point game. 15:43 remaining. Leandre Washington spins to the rack. Up, no good. Rebound taken in, going the other way. Feeds the wing. That jumper won't go. Norman with the board. It's a one-shot trip. You can't be mad at that when it was a good look.
It was.
Norman with the handoff to Boyd. Boyd to the free throw line. He'll work it back out. Norman, no good. Leading the break the other way, Wesley Anderson to Johnson. Johnson back out to Anderson. There's the other Anderson. Malik Anderson for three, won't go. Jennings the board. Back out to Wesley Anderson. Has a screen. He'll take it. Through, up, right hand. They'll wave it off with the travel. 14:41.
Tab checks back in for Anderson.
Six-point game.
Akeem White and Quentin Jones in for the Pilots.
Washington into the front court. The attack through, knocked loose, and a jump ball. Wesley Anderson forces it. That'll steal the possession arrow. Ball will be thrown in to the corner. It's White. Listen, some guys you step in front of and take a charge, and then there's Akeem White. Not going to do it.
Yeah, that's, again, another one of those large human beings that are around right now.
And he gets that momentum going downhill, and I'm sorry. It's a business decision.
6'7". We don't have a weight listing on the roster.
I imagine it is not a small number.
No.
He is all muscle at that. Down the lane, Struthers back out. There's Tab playing with three fouls. Back out. Anderson swings it over. Looking for help. Gets it over. That's Jennings. Right hand won't go. Still hasn't hit the rim. And shot clock violation. Although LSU could argue they had the ball with a second and a half left on the shot clock. Inbound will be triggered momentarily by number 15, Jeff Boyd. Washington into the front court. Works ahead. Boyd back out to Jones. Knocked out of bounds, Russ basketball. 6-point game, Rust is getting the stops. They've got to find some continuity offensively.
Yeah, and that was just a lack of communication there. Thought Washington was going to keep coming up around, and he just stopped to probably go back door on that. Pass goes out of bounds.
Knocked loose, Johnson recovers. That's Tab. Deep three, short. White right down the middle of the floor, kicks it. Three, no good. White over Tab, and Johnson with the foul. No, they put it on Tab. Oh,
That's
man, that's four. I thought Johnson got him. They put it on Tab.
I agree with you 100% on that.
That's one of those where if you're a coach, you'd rather Johnson have thrown his hand up and said, I got him. So that's 4 on Tab. He'll have to leave. That brings Huntsman back in. That is a dramatic impact on this ballgame. Now I don't know if you can bring him back before the under-6 media.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough question. If this thing begins to stretch out a little bit more, can you leave him that long?
8-point ball game. Into the front court. Struthers. There's the attack. Through, up, won't drop. Rebound White. And that, they'll call that clean. Huntsman with the basketball. Ahead. Into the corner now. Johnson fouled. I think he had some nasty intentions when he took off. Drew the foul.
The intent was there, and I think he telegraphed those intentions early on, and they were like, nope, not today.
That's right. We might have let you on the layup,
Yeah.
but not with that tomahawk you bringing. Johnson to the line. Free throw up and good. 8 points now for him. One more coming. Elijah Johnson. Second free throw good. He's got 9. Cuts it to 6 again. Bearcats need a stop. Into the front court. Trey Johnson has it knocked loose. And they're going to go the other way. Bearcat basketball.
Unforced error, just trying to get a little too fancy with the dribble. And you end up knocking it out on off your own foot.
Wesley Anderson obliges with an unforced error of his own. Again, Bearcats are getting stops, but they can't answer anything at the other end. And they're not able to get closer than 6 here. Boyd looking for help. Out. There's the handoff. Bounce pass down to Jones. Tipped out. That'll stay on this end. 4 on the shot clock. That'll be the under 12 media when we come back. Bearcat, or rather Pilot basketball, 4 on the shot clock, up 6. Six-point ball game, 11:39 to go. 4 on the shot clock. Triggered in, touched. Clock never started. They got it off. Thrown back in. Now Huntsman. Thrown ahead. Strip. And the half court will be set up now for the Bearcats. 24 on the shot clock.
Good recovery by Trey Johnson, getting down in a hurry, knocking that ball out of bounds, at least allowing them to set back up.
Frenetic sequence there. Anderson into Johnson. Gets it over to Struthers. Throws the ball down. Met as he turns around, recovers. Little hook shot goes nowhere for Jordan Watkins. And once again, Bearcats can't close the gap. And there's a three from Boyd. If this is Rockin' Jock, that counts off the shot clock. It's not, so it doesn't. Turnover. Going the other way. Or I apologize. That technically is a defensive team rebound.
Yeah. Effectively the very same thing.
Yeah. The drive. Gets it in the hand of Huntsman. Spacing bad right now for the Bearcats, and there's a foul.
And that does feel like where they've gotten themselves in a little bit of trouble is that spacing. They've kind of gotten clumped in close to the lane or close to one another on one wing, and that's prevented them from being able to do some things. That shot up and missed.
Again, another trip empty-handed for the Bearcats. Still down 6. Jones misses. Tip up won't go. You're going to get an over-the-back call on Boyd. First foul on Boyd. 10:30 and counting. Into the front court with the basketball is Christopher Owens. Owens has it deflected into the hand of Struthers, and a walk called on Struthers.
Get lucky enough to have the pass go through two Pilot defenders, only to turn it over with the travel underneath the basket.
It's been the thing with Russ. They're getting some breaks, and then they're getting some stops. They just can't create anything on the offensive end. They've been down 6 for quite a long time at this point. There's a foul. Going to put that one on Johnson. That's 2 on Johnson.
Just the second team foul.
Ball thrown in. Knocked loose, regathers.
No real
and a
movement.
travel.
No real movement either for the Pilots offensively. Player or ball movement.
Into the front court. Back over. Right hand, good. So that'll cut it to 4 off the Watkins driving bucket. And there's a turnover by LSUS. LSUS leaving every opportunity right now. Ball will be thrown in to Owens momentarily. Owens, Watkins, Lanier, Struthers, and Huntsman, the 5 for the Bearcats. Owens gets it over, stolen by Norman. Easy finish for him, and he blows it. And he does not look okay. He was kind of a little staggered before he actually got possession of that ball, it looked like. Now he'll trot back toward the bench. Bruised ego for sure. Beyond that, I don't know what else. He'll stay in the game. So effectively, Norman picked his pride up off the floor down there, and they stopped the game for him. Because I thought if they stopped the game for you, you had to leave.
You had to leave, yeah.
They said, no, it's okay. You just put your dignity in your pants and go back over here. So, listen, I'm not making fun of Norman at all. Do you know how many layups I've blown in my life and yet still will? That one, a travel. It's just an odd sequence, and I'm surprised the Russ bench didn't contest that.
Yeah.
You stop the game, he's got to leave the game. 50-46 the score. 8:55 and counting.
Because as a referee in that particular situation, your first thought is
protect the player.
Protect the player, and that's probably the way he came down, a knee issue. So.
Yeah. Into the corner. Stolen. Going the other way. Lanier into the corner. There's a three. Won't go. Francis will control it. Johnson attacks. Right hand up, won't drop. Rebound going the other way. Into the lane, misses it. Rebound put back good by Lanier. So 2-point ball game with 8:11 to play. Full timeout. We'll take it with them. Faulkner Sports Network. Two-point ball game, 8:08 to play. Henry with the basketball. Works it down low. Turn around. Francis can't get it to go. Rust with a chance to tie it. Sent left wing. Thrown down. That's Lanier. Turn around. Tie ball game with 7:35 to play. We got a good one, and there's a foul. Wesley Anderson trying to come up with a steal there.
Just their third team foul. Anderson's second.
$50 to 50. Brings it back around. Kicked into the corner. That one missed. And another whistle. That is the most demonstrative foul call I've ever seen by a referee.
Foul was on Wesley Anderson.
Stolen, and another whistle. So, checked with the table on the Kevin Norman situation where he was down here. So, the official ruling, and I apologize, I missed this. They didn't stop it because of him. They stopped it because of the foul. They called a foul on the other end.
Okay, there was a foul on the other end.
Then, but they were simultaneous. That one ref looked back to check on Norman while the other ref called a foul. 50-50, 6:40, coming the other way. So it looked like the ref on our side of the floor there was checking on Norman, and the ref on the other side called a foul. Little step, nice move there to get an open look for Hunter. LSUS back on top. 52-50. Works left, and there's another foul.
That one on Norman. That's going to be the 6th team foul. It's the 4th foul for Norman.
Ball thrown in. Marking left is Anderson. 9 to shoot. And another foul away from the ball. Turnover by Rust.
Illegal screen, I think, on Jordan Watkins.
$5:52 to go. That's the Under 6 Media. We'll take it with them. Partner Sports Network. $52-50. 5:52 to play. The Pilots of LSUS hugging a narrow 2-point lead here. That one thrown ahead. Hunter down the lane. Can't get it to go, and there's a whistle.
Got to stop ball in that situation. You just gave Hunter the opportunity to go right to the rim. Nobody came up, stopped the ball at the three-point line. So Hunter now has an opportunity to extend the lead to 4.
Yeah, they didn't even make Hunter really change his step at all. Hunter's first free throw. Rattles in good. He's now got 5 points, and the lead is 3 with 5:45 to play. One more. Good. 54-50 is the score. Across the timeline. Sends it. And a layup good with the right hand for Lanier. Cuts it back to 2. Rust is going to apply the pressure high on this offense. Hunter will bring it himself. Nobody stop ball again. They let him all the way to the front of the rim.
You got to stop ball in transition. That's the number one rule.
Like, just everybody forgot about the guy with the ball. 56-52. There's Malik Anderson. Back over. Onto the wing. Thrown down, tapped out by Francis. Like, it was a great job applying pressure up top and forcing the issue, but then nobody picked him up as he crossed half court, and he was able to go all the way to the rim without hesitation. So, 4-point game again. Wesley Anderson with it. And there's a blocking foul. That one's going to be on, or do they change it?
They change it to a charge.
They did.
And I think that's the right call. Anderson dipped that shoulder and went in, and that's going to be 4 now for Anderson.
So both of the point guards for Rust are playing with 4, and that's going to get Tab back in the game. Because if you're going to let Anderson play with 4, you may as well put Tab back in.
And Washington a little worse for wear after taking that shoulder to the gut.
Yeah. 4-point ball game, 4:47 to play. Rust in need of a stop. They're denying the inbound, and there's a turnover. Rust basketball.
Not enough urgency by LSU-S to even get that ball inbounded.
Keyshawn Tab. Tab will inbound. That's Lanier. Back to Tab, knocked loose by Washington. Tab will chase it down. Works it over left wing. And a travel. Rust just unable to get out of their own way right now. They've had several opportunities here to either tie it again or take the lead. And it's a turnover on one end and a missed assignment on the other. That's what's got to be frustrating if you're Rust, because you've played well enough to win this ball game. Except for in the big moments, you haven't been able to finish.
And if you're on the other side, LSU-S, you've played well enough to win the game, but you've also played well enough to lose it.
Yeah, that's been the thing. You know, they've had chances they could run away and hide.
Yeah.
And they haven't done it. 56-52. To the line, Hunter. Fouls on Watkins. 4:19 to play in this one, the 8th game of the battle at the beach. 4 more tomorrow. We'll wrap up our week. Free throw, back iron, no good. We'll begin early tomorrow. The first game tips at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So if you're in the midst of your Thanksgiving travel, you can pull it up on YouTube on whatever device you have. If you're stuck at the office, pull it up on YouTube, whatever device you're allowed to use. 57-52, 5-point ball game. Tab across the timeline. Calls the set. Pass to the rim and a nice recovery, but a foul. Not bad by Henry, though. You take away the easy two and you make him earn them at the stripe.
Yeah, that was a great pass inside over the top to the spot. Ball was placed right where Smothers had his hand, and as you said, just a good job. Make him earn it at the free throw line rather than give up the easy one.
4:08 remaining, and he misses it. That makes it a good foul right there. Struthers has got 12. Russ got to get something out of this trip here. And he'll make the second. That'll cut it back to 4. Now they need a stop. Ball thrown into Boyd. Trap there on the wing. He'll get it ahead. There's Hunter. Trap in front of the LSU-S bench. Johnson will force it.
And he'll call the timeout first.
So the timeout before the jump ball. And with 3:58 to go, it's a 4-point game. Think they're going to keep this a 30? They will. So, again, Rust has been good enough on the defensive end, with the exception of a couple of things, to give themselves a chance to win this game. They're not putting the stops together with the ensuing shots, and that's really hurt them. For LSUS, when Rust goes down here and they blow it on the offensive end with a turnover or something, LSUS isn't coming down to the other end and putting the game away.
Yeah, and it's been that way. Not just here late in the end of this second half. It's been that way for this entire ball game.
Yeah, it really has. And look, I don't want to take anything away from either one of these teams. I think the intensity and the effort's been really good
it has.
For both of these teams. But I do think there's something to be said for that rest of rust that we talked about at the beginning, where they played game 1 and then game 8 versus LSUS, who played game 4 and now game 8. And I think you can see that in the legs of LSUS a little bit, as the jumpers haven't been falling for them today. Tab with the handoff. Works back, pulls it from the free throw line. Can't get it to climb over the rim. Tip in won't go, and they call the over the back. So 31, Elijah Johnson's going to get that foul. That's his third. And we're going to walk to the free throw line at the other end. Be a 1-and-1 opportunity here. Kevin Norman at the stripe. Norman, 2 points to this juncture, trying to add to this lead for his Pilot Ball Club, and he does. 5-point lead for LSUS. Second one, good. Nice trip for Norman. It's a 6-point game again. They get the ball into Malik Anderson. There's Keyshawn Tab. He'll cross the timeline. Tab. Foul trouble has hindered him all day today. Nice switch by Francis there, jumping over after that screen. Johnson back to Tab. Tab all the way to the rack, and it is thrown by Francis. And really lucky that Francis didn't get teed up there as he stood over him after the foul. Francis has had a great ball game. 20 points so far for him.
Foul was on Royce Hunter. Just his second.
They did put it on Hunter, even though I guess they said the block itself was clean.
The block was clean. I think Hunter, they said, got him on the body underneath.
Tab frustrated at that missed free throw. He'll go again. Substitution. They're going to get another ball handler on the floor with Owens. Tab's team down 6. He'll try to cut it to 5, and he makes that one. Going to get a timeout by that Russ bench. We'll see if they keep it a 30 or if they're going full here. It is a full. We'll take it with them. 3:12 to play. 5-point game. FSN. .312 to play. 5-point ball game. The attack to the rim, contested, tipped alive, controlled by Lanier. Francis will catch the throw back in. Now, left wing, thrown down. Francis tipped alive. Lanier's got that. 2:45 to play. Down 5 are the Bearcats. Tab, left side. Malik Anderson adjustment. That ball tipped out of bounds. Should stay with Rust, and it does. 19 on the shot clock. 2:35 to play. Malik Anderson, Keyshawn Tabb, Christopher Owens, Ronald Struthers, Devontae Lanier, the 5 on the floor for Rust, and that's a 3. Malik Anderson, only 5 points, but none bigger than those 3 right there. Cuts it to 2. Bearcats looking for a stop. LSUS trying to put some space in there between themselves and Rust. Down to the corner. Norman back up top, burning clock. There's the move from Francis to the rack. It won't go. Tip back in by Norman does. Back to a 4-point ball game. Nice follow by Kevin Norman. 2 minutes to play in this one. Russ down by 4. Keyshawn Tabb, Leandre Washington face up. He'll attack left, step back, 3, drains it. Keyshawn Tabb for 3. It's a 1-point game with 1:52 to play. And, David, you talk about he's been on the bench in foul trouble all game long. That explosive element on both ends of the floor has been something Rust has been missing. And now, in crunch time, there's Keyshawn Tabb.
Yeah, and they did a good job staying in the ball game while he was on the bench. So credit that too. So that's a huge thing. So when he does come back in, he can assert himself offensively. And then defensively, he's got to remember, hey, I still got 4 fouls. I got to be careful. And you'd think that LSUS would try to attack that a little bit, see if you can get that cheapie, get him out of the ball game.
Well, and for their part, there's a little bit of foul trouble on the LSUS side. In particular, Kevin Norman's got 4 that he's playing with. And Lonnie Francis is playing with 3. 3 fouls on Christopher Owens for – nope, I apologize. That's 1 foul on Owens. I don't think there's anybody else on the floor right now with any kind of trouble for Rust other than Keyshawn Tabb.
Yeah, on the floor now it's Tabb with 4, and for LSUS it's Norman with 4 fouls, Francis with 3.
Yeah, nobody else on the floor right now for Rust has more than 1. 61-60, 1:52 to play. Winner of this ball game plays Faulkner tomorrow at 4:45 in the final game of this tournament. Ball thrown in to Leandre Washington. Washington face up with Ronald Struthers. He'll work to the right, gets it back over to Hunter. Hunter trapped against the sideline, gets out of there. Back to Washington. 15 to shoot. Washington into the lane. Thought about it, and they're going to wave off the effort to the basket, saying that he traveled. That little hesitation where he picked the ball up is what got the referee.
Yeah, it was, and then when he did pick the ball up, he started to slide that pivot foot because his momentum was still going that way a little bit.
It was one of those, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Is it a layup? Is it a jumper? What are we doing? And he kind of got caught in between. Struthers on the left wing, gets it back up to Malik Anderson. Good possession is what Russ needs right now with 1:15 to play. Down 1. Keyshawn Tabb from the elbow, won't drop. Rebound taken down by Hunter. Interesting to see where Rust is going to pick him up, and it looks like Struthers, they're going to try to see if the length of Struthers can frustrate Washington here. They'll send it over. That's Boyd. He'll drive right into Tabb. They'll go offensive. Offensive foul on Jeff Boyd. His second. It's a turnover, and Tabb is down. They're going to help Tabb up. Tabb took a shot there. You're going to have to give him a minute. 61-60, 53.4 to play. 1-point ball game. And a timeout taken. It's a full, and David Turner, what a game this one has turned into. It's been the best game of the week so far in terms of being competitive.
In terms of being competitive, absolutely. But it's felt like, both teams have at times tried to find ways to lose this ball game.
Yeah.
One turnover on one side deserves another on the other, and we've gotten to this point where now they're playing pretty good basketball here the last 3 minutes of this ball game as far as getting good shots and good looks together.
53.4 remaining. 61-60 is your score. Norman, Washington, Francis, Hunter, and Boyd, the 5 for the Pilots. Tab, Owens, Malik Anderson, Lanier and Struthers, the 5 for Rust. Tab into the front court. Face up with Leandre Washington, works it over right side. Back up.
You got to think they want the ball in Tab's hands or at least get this shot.
They do, and they'll get the screen on Washington. 10 to shoot. He got a lane to the rim, kicked it out, swung it over to Struthers. 5 to shoot. Malik Anderson buries the 3 with 25 seconds left. It's a 2-point lead for the Bearcats. That was the best possession they've had the entire tournament.
It was. Great ball movement and player movement, and finally wind up with a wide-open 3 for Anderson.
Boyd out to Norman. You're going to get a timeout on the Pilot bench with 13.4 to play. The absolute best possession Rust has had in 80 minutes of basketball here in Panama City at the biggest time that they could have had it. And everything was, for defensively, was Keyshawn Tab. You knew it had to be. And he got the lane to the basket, and it would have been so easy to try to force that layup. He kicked it into the corner, and instead of the shot, they swung the extra pass, which is what we've looked at times and gone, you're not sharing the ball. What are you doing? And they did right there. And, boy, they look like a different team when they do that.
Well, shared it to the wing, and then the 2 extra kick passes around the wing to find Anderson. Just beautiful basketball on that point by Rust, and you get rewarded for it with the open 3 and the shot going down.
Absolutely. It's, and we've talked about it. There have been times where the ball just sticks and it's all ISO for them, and then you get – that situation, which was, you got to think a lot of that was play design coming out of a timeout.
Yeah.
But it was executed beautifully. And now, what do the Pilots come up with 13.4 left, down 2? And you got to think, your first, you want the 2.
You want the 2. I'm thinking you're looking Boyd or Francis here.
He'll pull the 3. Boyd, and
he gets fouled.
He's fouled shooting the 3 with 8.9 to go. The one thing you can't do is foul the jump shooter, and they did it. Oh, my goodness.
But they took the shot with nearly right at about 9 seconds remaining. There's still plenty of time to get a look on the other end.
But we go back to what you talked about. There's times where it looks like neither team wants to actually win the ball game. Don't foul the jump shooter. Oh, my. What a finish we've got here. And Boyd puts his team down 1. The number 20 team in the country, down 1 with 8.9 to go. Boyd ties it. Completely fearless. Not concerned at all. Tie game. Substitution here, Washington off. Going to get Trey Johnson in. Boyd about to sink this next one and put his team on top. And he does. He hits all 3. Oh, my goodness. If you're Rust, you got the perfect action on a play on the other end. All you got to do is not foul the shooter here. And they do. And then Boyd knocks them all 3 down at the stripe. and now you're down one again with 8.9 to play.
The good news is
you got 8.9.
You've got 8.9. There is plenty of time for you to get a shot that you want here on the offensive end. The bad news is there have been opportunities for Rust to do this before, and they've, like you said, they've gone ISO. They've taken a bad contested shot. They turned the ball over. So you've got to avoid those bad plays within this. And if they get something like they drew up on that last possession, they'll be fine.
8.9 remaining. 1 point ball game. If you're LSUS, you keep tabs on Keyshawn Tabb right now. That's the guy. You know, whatever it is going to be run through him.
Yeah, well, Tabb and Anderson, they play well off of each other. Anderson all the way back in the corner. Little three-quarter court pressure by the Pilots.
There's Tabb. 8 seconds left. And they'll get across half court, call timeout with 5.8 remaining. So 5.8 left. You're going to inbound from in front of your own bench here. What do you got? Because you don't need a three.
You don't need a three. I think you allow Keyshawn Tabb to inbound the basketball. Most dangerous man on the court at that point becomes Keyshawn Tabb.
Yeah.
So you can run, say, Anderson off us a couple of screens, work him back up, and then immediately flash up, give Tabb a screen, cut him back door, and hopefully get a easy pass there for a layup or something to that degree, or at least work off some kind of action off of that.
And to counter, if I'm LSUS, and I think that Tabb may be the guy inbounding this basketball, I'm taking the longest player I got and putting him right in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's the part of Tabb's game you're going to be able to exploit is that length. You know, put length in front of him and see what happens. 5.8 to play in a 1-point ball game here at Gulf Coast State College in Panama City, Florida at the 3rd annual Battle at the Beach. Russ trying to knock off the number 20 team in the country. They had them down with 15 seconds remaining and fouled the jump shooter who subsequently made all 3 of his free throws. And here we are with a 1-point lead, and there it is, Lonnie Francis defending the inbound. Lanier will trigger it. Got to get it in. That's Tabb. 4, 3, 2. Bounce pass. Up and in!
Got it!
They did it! Russ did it! Tabb lost the ball. Got a grip on it just enough to get it into the hands of Lanier, the inbounder, like you said, who cut straight to the baseline. And Russ knocks off the Pilots of LSUS 65-64 here at the Battle at the Beach. What a finish. Walk us through the play design.
The play design was get Tabb the ball up top, throw the ball in the Tabb, and then it went ISO really from there, and there was a weak screen on the backside there on the inbounder, as you said, and Tabb gets into the paint, essentially loses the ball in desperation, shoves the ball there to Lanier.
Lanier, yeah.
And Lanier,
at the last possible moment,
somehow almost scoops the ball up and just shoves it in the basket.
Yeah, I don't know that he ever actually possessed the ball long enough, because if he did, the game's over.
Yeah, but it worked out. The Pilots, or not the Pilots, but the Bearcats, rather, end up with a great win here.
I mean, that's a marquee win. They beat the number 20 team in the country, and just absolutely stunned here that Rust, they were able to keep with them. They trade blow for blow with them all the way through without their best player on the floor for most of the game due to foul trouble. And we talked about when Keyshawn Tabb came back, if they could hang in it. Well, you look at it, Keyshawn Tabb affects the end of this ball game by creating the play that gives them the lead earlier before the free throw situation down here that put the LSUS back on top. But then Tabb creates that with the assist that Lanier is able to put it in, and they win the ball game. And just a phenomenal finish here. Great NAIA basketball game. So if you are an LSUS fan, you want to know when you should tune back in, how about tomorrow at 12:15? Tomorrow at 12:15, LSUS is going to take on Baptist Bible. 12:15 tomorrow, LSUS Baptist Bible. You're a Rust fan and you want to watch your Bearcats compete for the Bay Bracket Championship, you need to tune in tomorrow at 4:45. Tomorrow at 4:45, Rust against Faulkner. What a great NAIA basketball game. To our friends from LSUS, we look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Our friends from Rust, we look forward to talking to you tomorrow night. For David Turner, for Kevonte Lindsay, for Grayson Plunkett, I'm Jeremy Smith. This has been the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of the Battle at the Beach. Good night, and God bless you.